Welcome to the Trading with Venus podcast, where we help you establish strong trading habits, generate consistent profits, and create the lifestyle you desire for yourself and your family. Now your host, Raman Gill.
Welcome to another episode of the Trading with Venus podcast. I'm your host, Raman Gill. Most of the time in this business, we want to shoot for the stars. We want that home run, and that's what we try to do time and time again. However, what I have learned over the 8 years that I've been in this business is that we do not make a living off of the home runs. Instead, it is the short ones. That's what pays your bills. Those are the ones that bring home the bacon, so to speak. So very, very important to keep that in mind. When you find yourself in that position where you want to make 300 pips a week or 300 pips a day, take a step back and really think about it. Is it really important to make 300 pips a week? Because we need to think outside the box. We don't have to get stuck on how much money do you have in your account today, because it's not trying to make the most of that account that's important, but really looking at it in an objective way. For example, if you have a business and for every $10 that you spend, if you get $15 in return, why wouldn't you do that over and over again? So let's say you only have $100, so you can only go through that $10 10 times to get your $100, but you get $150 in return. I think that's a great profit. Now, instead of saying, oh, I am just limited by this $100, wouldn't you then go find another $100 so that from those $100 you can create another $150, right? So you want to think like that. You don't want to try to make 200 out of the 100, but you want to look at what works consistently, right? How can you just keep reusing that and then cycling it so that you're able to make more from that? So not the number of pips, but actually more profit, because once you're able to hit that target and you can do it consistently, you can scale it up. I remember when I used to play Ultimate Frisbee, I wanted to be the star. I used to be a cutter, where this is the person who just runs a lot. I would run deep and somebody would throw me the disc and I would jump up and make this crazy catch. As spectacular as that looked, it was actually not one of the best throws to make, or one of the best catches, because there were problems with it. So the person throwing it now has to throw the disc from one end of the field to another end of the field, which is really hard to do because it can be intercepted in the middle. Anybody can put their hand up or make a crazy jump and get to the disc. Secondly, if I'm the person waiting in the end zone, running into the end zone to catch that disc, now there is a threat that somebody else can come in and scoop that disc. So why make that crazy dash to the end zone where once you get there, you're panting and you're puffing and you can't really do anything else once you've caught that disc? Why don't I just go for that short throw? So somebody throws it to me, I catch it, throw it back, catch it, throw it back, where it creates this cycle where you're getting more touches on the disc, so you're not doing a spectacular catch, but you're catching it more often, so you're recreating that. That short pass is actually a way more effective way to really win the game. The game is not won by the spectacular catches. Instead, it is won based on those short catches that you know will work, that you know you can get it to the next person, and then you can repeat that process. So same way in trading as well. We don't want to look for 300 pips in a trade. We don't want to look for a crazy amount of pips. What we want to do is get consistent with 20 pips or 50 pips in a week, and then we can scale that. So if you find you can do 20 pips in a day or 20 pips in a week, then you can then go back and say, okay, I've put $1,000 into this account and this is what I can create with that. Now, if I had $2,000, what kind of results would I be looking at? So I'm not asking you to take more risk. I am asking you to maybe look at different ways on how you can scale that account. You can put more money in so that you're able to create double the results out of that. So that's another way to look at it. Don't be so narrowly focused on the amount of money you have in your account, because it's very important that you find a formula that works. Once you find a formula that works, you can just keep repeating it, rinse and repeat, and you'll be able to create way bigger profit out of that by just scaling it up a little bit. So instead of giving them a little Toyota, why wouldn't you give them a big fancy car with lot of boost in there so they can actually win that race? You don't want to send your little Honda or little Toyota in winning the race. Maybe you want to give them a Formula One car, because now you know you have a good race driver that can actually win the race for you. If you put a little bit of muscle behind them with a good proper car, you'll actually be able to create those professional results. So you cannot compete in Indy with a little Honda Civic, but you can win that race with a Formula One car. Same thing with our account as well. Don't discount the small wins. Focus on them. Figure out what's really working for you. Is it your mindset is in the right place? Is it your strategy that's really profitable and you're able to do that consistently? Figure out what's really working and then scale that up so that you're able to use the same strategy, but now you have more oomph, more muscle behind it, so you're able to create bigger results from it. So do not discount your small wins. Instead, study them, focus on them, and those small wins will one day result into huge profits. That's it for today. Thank you for sharing this time with me. For show notes for this episode, please visit tradingwithvenus.com/podcast page. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next time.
Thanks for joining us today. With much gratitude, your show host, Raman Gill.